Ever wonder why living in paradise comes with a hefty price tag? Why are insurance rates in Sarasota and Southwest Florida in general skyrocketing? And what does that mean for you and your dream home near the beach? Are hurricanes and floods the only culprits? Or is there more to the story? Stick around as we unravel the mystery behind the insurance cost crisis that makes waves in one of the sunniest spots on the map.
Florida's insurance disaster.
It's gone from $3,100 to $6,200 in just a year.
As you put out right there, Floridians already pay the highest premiums for homeowner insurance in the country. What is it, $4,200 on average versus a national average of $1,500.
People here in Florida are facing a dire insurance crisis as premiums skyrocket and coverage becomes increasingly hard to find.
When you moved to Florida, were you aware of the property insurance crisis?
No.
There's a lot of work to be done, and frankly, insurance is still incredibly expensive and consumers are suffering.
Hey everybody, I'm Amr Kurrar, your Sarasota guide and the local real estate expert. I have lived up and down the East Coast from Hartford, Connecticut to Astoria, Queens, Jersey City, Greenville, South Carolina, and the north of Atlanta, all in search for the best place to enjoy life and raise my family. And I finally found it right here in Sarasota. So if you're curious why I chose Sarasota over anywhere else in America, let's chat. Whether over the phone, a cup of coffee, or just taking some time to show you why Sarasota is better than any other place in the country. And if you haven't had the chance to visit Sarasota yet, don't worry, I've got you covered. I have put together a special Southwest Florida starter pack just for you. And like the name says, it's packed with all the goodies that Southwest Florida has to offer. A 40-page guide that I made myself just for you. It's got everything you need to know about schools, hospitals, golf courses, beaches, outdoor activities, real estate, and anything else you would want to know about Southwest Florida. And yes, it is free. So if you want one, just click the link below, enter your name and address, and I'll make sure this package gets shipped to you right away. Now, without further ado, let's jump into the content. Imagine this. You have found your dream home in Sarasota. The sunsets are to die for. But then you get your insurance bill, and bam, it hits you harder than a hurricane. Insurance rates here are on a wild ride up, and we're going to talk about why and what it means for the folks living here or thinking about moving in. So what is the nitty-gritty on rising rates? Hurricanes, floods, you name it. Florida's seeing it all. And these are not just making headlines. They are making our insurance premium skyrockets. The one question I hear a lot is, Amr, what is going on with these skyrocketing insurance costs? Why are so many homeowners feeling the squeeze in Florida? Here is my answer. Proximity to water. Cost of living comes at a price, folks. We all love being close to that water, but that ocean view is costing more than ever. For example, homes that used to have a $3,000 insurance premium are now paying over $9,000 and sometimes a lot more. That's a huge jump. And it's all because of risk factors tied to living near the coast. Second, natural disasters. More storms mean more expensive insurance. With hurricanes hitting Florida more frequently, insurance companies are jacking up rates to cover potential damage. They're calling us high risks. If you have noticed your premium doubling or tripling, it's not just you. This is happening all over the state. And the third is rising building costs. Expensive materials means expensive coverage because they have to rebuild the house. Since COVID, the cost of construction has gone through the roof. And I think that all of us have seen this in the past 3 or 4 years. And that's impacting how much insurance you need to cover your home. Higher building costs mean higher premiums. And that's something every homeowner is feeling. The fourth item that is causing our premium to skyrocket is what I like to call it insurance market shakeup. Less competitions means higher prices. Several insurance companies have left Florida altogether over the last few years, which means fewer options and higher prices for everyone else. When the market tightens up like this, the cost gets passed down to us, homeowners. Good news is, we have seen a few carriers enter the market recently. Here is another question that I get very often. Amr, if I'm buying a home in Sarasota, what should I be looking out for when it comes to insurance? Okay, you ready for this? Know your flood zones. This makes a big difference in your insurance costs. Flood zones are critical here in Florida. For instance, buying a home in AE flood zone can add $1,500 to $4,000 or more a year to your insurance cost. And this is not the primary insurance, this is just the flood insurance. Compare that to a Zone X, where a flood insurance is optional, a property where you might only pay around $500 for a flood insurance. Big difference, right? The second item to look for when you're buying a house here in Florida is the age of the house. Homes built before 2002 might not meet the latest building codes, so insurers see them as riskier. That means you could be looking at higher premiums and more required inspections. So older homes can mean higher premiums. The key word here is can, because there is something you can do to help reduce these premiums. There are several bills were passed the last couple of years to help homeowners manage their homes aging and meet new codes. For example, Bill 7028, My Safe Florida Home, added $200 million fund to help improve your home and make it more hurricane resistant by offering $10,000 grant. So leveraging My Safe Florida Home program is important. Second bill is House Bill 7073, passed in Florida in 2024, that provides over $1 billion in tax relief to ease the financial burden on residents. The key provision included sales tax holidays, temporary sales tax exemption on items like hurricane supplies and back-to-school products, insurance premium tax relief, 1-year reduction on residential property insurance premium to help homeowners save. The next bill is Bill 1029. Similar to Bill 7028, 1029 is a pilot program for condos, offering My Safe Florida homes and aims to enhance the hurricane resilience of condominium buildings. And we're going to be talking about condominium buildings in a different video, but for now, let's stay with that. The third important item, as far as insurance goes, to look for when buying a home is elevation. Higher ground could save you big bucks. If you're looking at homes that are elevated or have flood-proofing measures in place, you could see much lower insurance costs. For example, an elevated home built in a stilts might pay $2,000 in flood insurance versus $7,000 for one that is ground level. And again, we're talking about waterfront home. The fourth item when it comes into our list is inspection. A good inspection will save you a lot of money. 4-point and wind mitigation inspections can reduce costs. These inspections might feel like a hassle, and trust me, it does, but they're worth it. They can show that your home meets current standard, which could lead to significant savings on your insurance. Or it can prevent you from buying a home that will be a big problem in the future. The importance of the 4 points and wind mitigation inspections. What all these inspections is all about? Why should you care? Here is my answer for you. 4-point inspections, you are basically finding out what's under the hood. The inspection checks for roof, electrical, plumbing, and HVAC systems. If your home is older than 30 years, this is likely going to be required by your insurer. It can highlight issues that might make your home more expensive to insure or even uninsurable, period, until the issues are taken care of, such as replacing the roof or electric wiring. Second is the wind mitigation inspection. Can your home stand up to a storm? That's really what it translates to. This one looks at how well your home can handle a hurricane force winds. And we just had one. I'll tell you that this experience we had right here with Hurricane Milton, I lived it, I experienced it firsthand. If your home is not built well, it's not gonna be a good outcome. Things like storm shutters and roof straps can lower your premiums, sometimes by up to 30%. So if your home is insured for $5,000, for example, this inspection could bring it down to $3,500. Recently, we're seeing some homeowners selling their waterfront properties. The question is why? Very simple. The high insurance cost. It's pushing people out. It's true. This is a true crisis that we're living in Florida, that insurance cost is becoming a big issue for some, especially if you did not calculate it into your expenses. Now, if you expected it and you made plans, you're gonna be better off. For many, the rise in insurance costs are just too much. A condo that used to cost $2,500 a year to insure might now be over $10,000. That's forcing a lot of people to reconsider whether they can afford to stay or not. Flood zone changes is constant. Every year after every hurricane, FEMA updates flood maps. FEMA's updated flood maps are moving more homes into the high-risk side, which means higher required flood insurance. Like, for example, most of Englewood and Northport last year, it actually moved into a flood zone. That means now is mandatory that you have to have a flood insurance to cover your home. Investment concerns, the numbers just don't add up anymore. For investors, the increased insurance costs are eating into their profits. Properties that were once cash cows are now barely breaking even. So many are choosing to sell and move their investment elsewhere. We are near the end of our video, and here is my conclusion. The rising cost of insurance in Sarasota and Florida in general is a serious issue. But with the right knowledge, you can make informed decisions that protect your investment. It's all about understanding the risks and finding ways to mitigate them. Florida is a beautiful place to live. I have been here for 10 years. I would not give it up. I love it. But it's got its challenges too. Whether you're buying, selling, or just trying to stay informed, remember, being prepared is the best way to weather any storm. All right, folks, that's it for today. Thanks so much for watching. If you're loving this Sarasota Brandon Insight, don't forget to subscribe and tap that bell so you are the first to catch every new video. And if you're dreaming about life in Southwest Florida, don't forget, I have the free Southwest Florida Starter Pack, loaded with everything from top schools and hospitals to the best beaches and golf courses and real estate gyms. Just click the link below, fill in your info, and I'll get it in its way to you. Can't wait to see you in the next time.